Oh, come on.
All right, James is in need of a second date update this morning, and we're here to help him out. Hey, James.
Hey, guys. How y'all doing today?
Doing all right. You sound a little bummed.
Yeah, well, first off, I'm a fan. Thanks for taking the time to talk to me. It's very nice to talk to you both.
Of course.
Okay?
Thank you. Likewise.
It's good to have you.
I'm a little embarrassed by calling this. I never thought I'd be one of the callers for this today, but I just need some help. So I really do appreciate it.
Happy to do it.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell us how you met Marie, and then we'll get into the first date and all that. Go from there.
You know, before we begin with that, I know that you have a lot of women who listen to your show, and that's why I had a little bit of a fear to come on here, because I do everything I can to try to be as good of a person that I possibly can be. So, you know, if this doesn't work out, I'm open to dating anyone that might think that I'm cool. So if there's any listeners that are listening to this and they think they might think that I'm cool, then you know, I'm out here dating, so I'm interested.
Really?
So
That's funny.
I just wanted to put that out there.
Well, I'll tell you what, James, every now and then when we can't get a second date, we do get emails from listeners or messages from listeners who say, I'll go out with them.
Yeah.
Yep. So I love that he's making the most out of this opportunity.
Seriously.
You know, so why not? You've got some free airtime. Why not get some free advertising?
Right. Well, it's just hard to meet women these days. I feel like for me, it's hard to meet women. Like, I've done my share of dating, like everybody has. And I hate saying this, but it always feels like that there's just not a lot of great options out there, you know?
Well, the online dating pool's not that deep either. So I hear you.
Well, the online dating pool's not even 100% accurate most of the time, you know?
Yeah.
So I was really excited about this last date I had. She was cool. I could talk to her, you know? She was pretty, had an amazing smile. She was funny as hell, charming. It just, man, like it was just such a relief to have that one date with her. It was just nice. And we had met up for dinner at O'Charlie's. We went there for dinner, and I personally thought everything went great. Had all the things that made a good date. Talked about our jobs, talked about our families, found out what we have in common, found out that we actually have mutual friends in common. And I thought that was cool, because then now there's like other people in our lives that know the both of us and could attest to the two of us being good for each other.
An instant social circle, if you will.
Yeah. I've never had that before. So that was kind of like a little bit of a relief, because there's always that nervousness about like, oh, well, will my friends be cool with your friends and things of that nature? But, you know, just similar circles that you usually kind of breeze through that, it feels like.
Yeah.
In fact, I called one of our friends and I told him that I went out on a date with her. And he really hyped her up, said that she was really cool and said that she was really dope.
That's a compliment.
Yeah.
Yeah. That date went for an hour. We had a couple of drinks. Since we met at the restaurant, I walked her to the car and gave her a hug. Didn't go in for a kiss or anything like that. I feel like, you know, nowadays you should really receive consent for something like that. So I just kept it casual.
Well, how does one obtain consent these days in 2022?
Oh, yeah. Are you one of
curious.
those askers of every step? Would it be okay if I touch you here? Would it be okay if I...
No, I'm not that deep with it. But if you want to have sexual relations with me, it wouldn't hurt to let me know that instead of assuming that I would know. Because then the other challenge with that would be, okay, so I'm just supposed to read your mind. And I'm supposed to just approach you and just kiss you automatically like they do in movies,
right? Which
that's not consent. You know, like, what if I did that and you weren't feeling that at all? Now, I'm a bit of an ass for that. That's
are you
wild.
thinking that was the issue, that you did, that maybe she's not calling you back because you didn't go in for a kiss?
Well, that's what I'm in my head about. Like, I told her I had a good time. I said I wanted to see her again. And she said that she would be down for that. So I didn't think that was a problem at first, but then it's been some time. She hasn't returned one of my texts or my calls. I have no clue why. So I wonder if it was that, you know, and I hate when women ghost you, because if there was something that I did, you could have told me. I'm the type of person that would appreciate constructive criticism from time to time.
Okay.
But
you wouldn't have a bad reaction to that.
I wouldn't. I never have, and I've never been like that. And whatever I did wrong, I would at least like to know what I did wrong so that I can improve and be a better person at the end of the day.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Well, James, we're going to take a break. And when we come back, we will call Marie, get that feedback from her, that constructive criticism, which here we are setting ourselves up for that when it could be something as simple as, sorry, I got busy. Or I'm just bad at getting back to people. You never know. The story of James and Marie continues next. Well, Marie has an amazing smile, and she's funny, charming. It was like going out with Jenn Jordan.
That's right.
Look at that.
What a dream come true.
But it wasn't Jenn Jordan. It was Marie. James took her to dinner at O'Charlie's. They didn't last long. Was it dinner, or did you guys just have drinks? Because you said you were only there like an hour.
It was dinner. We got our food kind of quick. It wasn't too crowded, so we were able to get our food and our drinks and was able to just get through it, you know?
Very cool. So in that hour, there was a lot packed in there because they discovered they had mutual friends, which is kind of cool because I suppose you could argue you have an instant social circle. Mm-hmm. And in that case, talked about job, family, stuff like that. And he said, hey, let's do this again. I would love to do this again. And she seemed down with it. He didn't go in for a kiss or anything like that because he was trying to respect consent and he didn't feel it was the appropriate moment. So here we are. We're going to call Marie and see what she thought of James and her date with him. Unless there's anything else you think we need to know or something important I left out, James?
No, not that I know of. I'm pretty sure I remembered everything that I could remember from that and just shared what I shared.
All right. Then let's call Marie.
Hello?
Hi, can we speak to Marie, please?
Speaking. This is Marie.
Hi, Marie. It's Jeff and Jen at Q102. How are you this morning?
What? No way.
How are you?
Hi.
I'm doing good. Why are you guys calling me? This is great, though.
Because we heard you have an amazing smile and you're funny and you're charming and we just had to meet you.
I mean, those are all accurate for sure. So great. I mean,
I love it. You know who told us all these things about you?
I'm not sure, actually.
Your friend James, who you hung out at O'Charlie's with recently?
He called you guys for a second date update.
He did.
Yep.
Oh.
He did.
Oh, God. Oh, my God.
Now,
okay.
He said you seemed down with getting together again. Were you just kind of faking it because you didn't want to get into a whole discussion or something else going on there?
Honestly, he's so gross. Like, so gross. That's really what it comes down to.
Gross how?
You're not going to believe what he did. First of all, like, overall, he's just like a really, like, gross eater. I mean, he's chewing with his mouth open. It's loud. He's taking big, huge bites. Food is falling out of his mouth. He's talking with his mouth full. All the things that you can imagine of poor food eating etiquette, he does.
Okay.
And I could look past that. I don't have, like, the phobia of, like, when people are eating with their mouth closed. It was gross. But what really set me over the edge, he was eating French fries, and I mean, it was more like he was eating ketchup, and they just happened to have fries in them because they were drenched in ketchup. And he actually ended up dropping a couple of them on the floor. He then proceeded to pick up the French fries, wipe off the ketchup with his fingers, and then ate them. I've never seen anything like it, but it just no, thank you. Just no.
Kristen dropped a slice of prosciutto last night outside in the patio, and I admit I was tempted.
To pick it up and eat it?
But I didn't.
Why? Just blow it off.
Depends
I had
on what
that
you're
thought.
dropping it on.
It was
But
brick.
did you? You were tempted. That's the thing. Did you actually do it?
I did not.
The French fry is gross because it was wet with the ketchup, and that could have picked up exterior
God only knows
stuff.
what all it picked up.
But the prosciutto would have
And
been
it's a
fine because it's
restaurant.
harder. You could blow it off.
Now we're talking, Charlie's James, the same James. We just had a nice conversation about consent and this
Yeah,
polite.
I mean, he's a great guy. Like, he's nice. I mean, outside of the eating and the French fry thing, I would have totally been down for a second date. But him just doing that on a first date and being completely unfazed by it, it made me really like almost be scared of what his other habits are like, his other hygiene habits.
James, I wasn't expecting this.
I got to be honest with you. I don't remember doing that at all. I really don't. And
Has anyone called you out for the way you eat before?
no,
Never?
no one's ever said anything to me.
I feel like you went on 2 different dates here.
Yeah.
Are we sure we have the right James and the right Marie at the right restaurant on the right night?
I'm not surprised he doesn't remember it. It was clearly no big deal to you. And like you're saying, no one's ever called you out on it. But it's obviously something you do all the time because you didn't miss a beat. And it, like I said, it seems so natural to you. It really made me wonder what other habits like this you may have. Like, you didn't even stop talking. You were talking, and then you just bent over and picked it up and wiped it off. Like, it was just part of your, just so
That is a bit
wrong.
Say
disturbing.
anything. Why didn't you say anything?
What is there to say other than you are absolutely gross?
Probably you are absolutely gross. Why couldn't you just say that?
Was it one of those moments you were just so stunned you couldn't believe it was happening and you just were like, I don't even know what to do right now?
Which I find surprising because I would think if someone really ate the way she describes, that someone would have said something to him before.
I honestly
I
was
think I
like
used that
waiting
much
for
ketchup.
Ashton Kutcher or somebody to come out. Like, I was really thinking this was some kind of prank. You know, we have similar friends in the circle.
Wow.
I thought this was a joke. I really was waiting for the ha-ha,
You
gotcha,
thought he was
and
punking
it
you.
never happened.
I can't believe your face didn't tell him because I wouldn't have
Yeah.
been able to hide my disgust in
like my
face.
jaw would have dropped and I'd have been like,
and I probably would have looked at somebody and given them like, oh my God.
yeah,
like,
I
is
look
this
like look around to
happening?
see, did anybody else see
Please,
what just happened here?
Totally, Jen. Yeah.
Yeah.
So wait, the whole time that date you thought I was a joke.
Not that you
Okay.
were a joke. I thought that
Yeah,
the
but
way
you didn't
that you were
respect me enough
eating,
to say anything about how I was eating.
well,
and how
because
embarrassing
why would
that
you
was.
just criticize someone? That's just mean. I'm not a mean person. I just felt like it's better if we just part ways and leave it as is. I mean, are you going to go after everyone who's never said anything to you about how you eat? Are you going to speak to everyone in your life about that, like the way you're speaking to me? I don't think so.
Dang.
You know, we had someone who worked here not that long ago who was grossed out by anyone's eating habits.
Chewing. It was chewing.
So
Yeah.
is he grossed out by eating habits? I'm sorry that I eat differently from you. I'm sorry that apparently I'm a Neanderthal when I eat. But if you really want to go out and date somebody, how about don't be afraid to be honest with them? You try to find somebody in this life that you want to be able to communicate and connect with, but yet you have the audacity to sit there and act all high and mighty because of how I ate. If you really had a problem with how I ate, you shouldn't have led me on to think there was a second date. You shouldn't have led me on to think there was anything with you in the future. You should have said something instead of going into your mind, assuming all this crap about all my other habits off of my eating. I don't want a second date. Thanks, guys, for calling me, but I think I'm good.
Wow.
I mean, that's perfectly fine. He can feel how he feels. Like I said, I thought it was a joke, so I was more just playing along with the whole thing.
Yeah.
But overall, like he said, if you're going to date someone and, you know, maybe potentially want to be with this person, you don't go in thinking, how do I change them? So why would I want to go in with someone? The first thing I'm thinking is, wow, I really need to change his eating habits. So it's fine. I'm good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for coming
Wow.
on and having this conversation with us.
And thanks for the visual because, you know, that was
Quite something.
It's surprising.
something to picture.
Thanks, guys. Love you guys. Big fan.
Thanks. All right. If you need any help with a second date update, we are your people. Just send us an email. Jeff and Jen at